Sagittarius, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. I am traveling and I failed to pack my cards that have the astrological signs that label the videos. So what I'm doing is I'm using a second deck where I am using the major arcana from that second deck that actually signifies the astrological signs. So Sagittarius, in case you were unaware, the Temperance is the card that correlates with Sagittarius. And if you feel so inclined, you can Google why that is. It's actually very interesting. But I won't talk about that. I will just get right into your reading. Dang, what you got going on, Sagittarius? The Knight of Pentacles. This is forward movement. Okay, it doesn't feel like forward movement because it's very, very slow. This is a very earthy energy. In which somebody has a plan and they utilize their resource in a particular way to carry out that plan. But like I said, it is a very slow moving energy. This is the only knight that actually makes it across the finish line. And knights are about change. Okay? So you are ushering in a slow change in order to carry out a plan. And it feels so slow, it almost feels stagnant. It almost feels like it's not happening. And one of the reasons that this moves so slow is because you're leveraging resources, and sometimes you want to move faster than those resources allow. So this could be a financial thing. You could be waiting for finances to come in. This could be leveraging your tribe in like a way of networking. So, you have to rely on other people's time schedules and stuff like that. So it's not like you're 100% in control of the situation. It could also be about health. And when you're making changes to your health, obviously things don't happen immediately. So yeah, health, wealth, and resources. So there's other energies and slow-moving energies tied into it. It's a good thing you're moving slow because you're still working out the plan in the process. You're still trying to find out inside what it is that you want to bring into fruition, but you're taking a slow forward movement in the process. As you put the pieces together, you're still moving forward. And the overall energy is the Tower in the inverse. You have already given a lot of time and thought to something that is changing your perspective, changing your values on life. You've given this a lot of time and effort, and now you're putting the pieces back together to build a stronger foundation in order to move forward. The journey that you have is the Devil in the inverse. And with the Devil in the inverse, this is kind of like, the best way to put it is it's somebody who quit smoking or drinking, but the urge is still there. You recognize that you had habits that weren't serving your higher purpose, but the urge to fall back into those bad habits are still there. So you are actively, and this could be why you're leveraging your resources and why it feels like such a slow movement, you are actively avoiding things and actions that you used to do on autopilot. Does that make sense? So you used to do things. You used to make choices that didn't serve your higher purpose only because you didn't think about them. You are now slowing down and thinking about the things that you used to just jump right into without thinking, and you didn't always get the best outcome because you did that. So you're recognizing that as a habit, and you're making the adjustments, the systematic adjustments to move forward, not to do that. And this tells me that you are closing out a chapter of your life. This doesn't mean that the chapter is closed, that the work is over. It means that you've learned the lesson. Now you have to put it into practice. So overall, Sagittarius, you're recognizing that you spent a good portion of your life making the same mistake over and over. You now recognize what that mistake is. You recognize how you fall into that trap, so to speak. And you are actively working on not falling into that habit. You are going back and really taking the time to think about the choices you make on a regular basis so you don't make that same mistake over and over again. And that is the lesson. You've learned the lesson. You're still in the process of putting this into action. And it is hard. It's hard to do this, you know? It's hard to look at yourself and take the responsibility for all the, to take a portion of the responsibility for the pains that happen, you know? This guy didn't put all these swords in his own back, obviously. But he did march into the battlefield. See what I'm saying? Um, don't think of it as black and white, right and wrong. Think of it as, how did I get myself into a situation where I allowed myself to be so vulnerable that it was easy for this person to hurt me? And how can I make it less easy for somebody else to come in and do that without becoming guarded and hard and pushing people away? You are looking to find that balance between trust and protection in order not to wind up in a painful ending again. Or if you're going to be in a painful ending, at least it will be worth it. There are a lot of choices moving forward, but not all of these choices are viable. So what you're learning to do here, Sagittarius, isn't to say, you're learning to put up boundaries. And what you're doing in order to put up these boundaries to make sure you don't wind up in this really deep vulnerability again, is you're starting to say, in the past you were saying, okay, these are all the things I want, and you were searching for the things you want. You're doing the opposite now. Now you're making a list of the things you don't want and the things that you won't put up with, and you're leading with that in all of your partnerships. Because what I get from this spread, it doesn't feel like a vocational spread, and it doesn't feel like a romantic relationship either. To me, this feels like friends and family. It feels to me, Sagittarius, like in the past you did not have good boundaries and you gave more of yourself than you should. And now you're recognizing where you went wrong in that. Did other people take advantage? Did other people take you for granted? Yes. But to what point did you allow that? What you're doing is you're taking back your power, and you're not allowing that anymore by saying, nope, I'm willing to give this much, but here's my line in the sand. And the difference between putting up that line in the sand and becoming hard and guarded and just pushing people away, and what you're actually doing is you're saying, I'm putting my line in the sand, and here's why. Okay? You are expressing your vulnerability and your boundaries all in one swoop. When you put up that boundary for another person, you're saying, you know what? I've been hurt this way before, so I just can't allow you to cross this line. Sorry. And that is respectful. Okay? Those types of boundaries that you put up with people are very respectful. They aren't off putting. And I would say to go ahead and maintain those boundaries the best you can. Because if you come across somebody who has a problem with a healthy boundary and they push against it, well, then that's just a person who will benefit from you not having any boundaries at all. The people who care about you and won't put you in this kind of a place on purpose will respect those boundaries and move forward with you as long as you give an explanation why. Sagittarius, I hope you found a message that serves your higher good, and stand your ground on this. I like it. All right, I'll see you guys next time.